Excited about the way our team's been playing. Thought we played really well in our game against Asheville. Anxious to see how we back that up. We got some rest the last couple of days on Monday, Tuesday. Practice yesterday and got 3 days to kind of get ready for Samford, and excited about the game. I think that different kind of team. They do a lot of different things. Press 5 or 6 different ways. Play 3 or 4 different zones. Just try to confuse you and just kind of muck the game up in different ways. But they're playing better. They actually really should have won the game against Memphis the other night. They were up 4 with a few seconds left and had a couple tough plays go against them. So I think they're playing a little bit better, and we know that we just need to execute and make a few shots, continue to defend at a better level, and hopefully continue to play good basketball.
Is this also big because I think this is the last game without David?
Yeah, I mean it's certainly we excited to get David back. He's been practicing with us and done a lot of scout team work here the first month of the year. But just an older guy, another bigger body, athleticism on the wing that I think will help, and certainly something going forward that I think our older guys are really excited for, because we know David. He's been waiting a long time. Feels like he's been here a while, just hasn't been able to play in a game. So I know he's really excited, and he'll have to calm his nerves when he does get that chance. But we're really happy for him and glad he's part of our team.
I really haven't been brought up a lot, but you're 2 big men. Has it worked out better than you thought? Because they're totally different players, and they give teams a totally different look when they're in. Eli, more of a back to the basket guy, but
it's been Mark's had a hard time in some games in terms of just maybe some games haven't matched up to him in terms of minutes. We know that we're going to need Mark desperately in the ACC season when we start facing bigger, more physical opponents on a consistent basis. Very pleased with the way he's been practicing, and certainly know that you need 2 centers at this level to consistently play at a high level at the position because of fouls and just fatigue and all that's demanded at that. So I'm very pleased with Eli and Mark, and know moving forward that Mark's going to have a big role for us.
With Eli specifically, I know you probably challenged him in the off season to become more of a all-around player. From this early point in the season, how happy have you been with his progress so far?
I've been very pleased with Eli's play. I think he's shown very good maturity. The Ohio State game, I think, was a great example of that, where he didn't have much going for him offensively in the first half, but I thought he was still contributing. Didn't let that bother him, and just kind of continued to play. And the longer the game went, the better we did of getting him the job or getting him the ball, and him doing a good job at his position. I mean, he's got to do more than just score. He's got to be a rebounder. He can be a shot blocker. He can be an active ball screen defender. And I think he's put more time in and concentrated much harder on doing what we want him to do in those areas. I think he's had a better attitude in terms of listening to certain things, in terms of helping to keep him out of foul trouble. Mm-hmm. And because of that, he's played better. And so I'm really pleased with how he's doing. And he's doing what you would expect out of a guy who's growing up and maturing and developing in your program. And I think he's going to have a very good season.
You have an interesting stretch: Samford, Florida, South Carolina. What do you want to see out of your team as you kind of head into that Christmas break time?
Yeah, just continue to improve, continue to be excited about playing, and we get some practice this week, which is good, and we'll have finals and a lot of things going on. Try to get a few practices in next week, but we had a bunch of games in a short amount of time, really.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just trying to develop consistency like every team, which I don't think is as easy as people think. But I think our group has been by and large pretty good. I think we've approached things in a very positive way, in a pretty mature way. I'm really pleased with the leadership that our older guys have given this team. we just gotta kind of keep building to get better. And it's a long season, like what we've done so far, but big games ahead. We gotta try to play well this week to just try to keep the positive momentum going.
I was watching the game Sunday and coming down the highway, and I told Nikki, I said, this team seems like this year, watching the past 3 or 4 games, a harder team to defend because there really isn't one guy that teams can.
Yeah, at times I think we can be that way. There's no question that we have multiple guys that can have big games, and that you're not really sure who it's going to be when it's going to be them. I think our guys have done a good job of being patient and understanding that some games they're going to get a few more attempts than others, and sharing the ball with one another, and looking for each other, especially in transition situations. And I think we've done a very good job of that. We've got to continue to work at it at the half-court level. But I do think we're a team that, again, has a few more weapons. I don't know if it's a lot different than last year, other than we just had one guy that we kind of knew we were going to go to in crunch time, and he was usually going to deliver. This year's team, I think we're still working through that in certain situations. But I don't think that we're short on guys who are afraid to make a play or capable of making plays, and I think that's something that's a strength of this team.
You may not give much of a rip, really, but y'all picked up a couple votes in the AP poll this week. I don't know if you take anything from that whatsoever. That's
Not
nice,
really.
maybe turning a few heads out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously means that you're playing pretty well, and things of that nature. But really, big scheme doesn't really matter a lot. I mean, any recognition you get is great because you're happy for your players to be recognized and want those guys to understand that, but it doesn't help you win any games. So we just hope that it continues to draw interest from our fans and reaffirms to our guys that they're doing good things, and let's get back to work, keep practicing hard, and try to do a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, happy for our guys.
Thank y'all.